Hi, it's Max at Joker's Comedy Club with this week's special event headliner, Myles Weber,
Hey, what's up, everybody?
coming back to the Tri-Cities.
Nah, it's been a minute. Excited to be coming back.
So, just so the people get to know you a little bit, I wondered how did you get into comedy? How did you start?
I used to sneak out of bed when I was 8 and watch George Carlin. Is probably where most of the guilt comes from, right? So, my parents wouldn't let me know what it was, though. They both, like most good parents, would be like, "It's too adult, just go to bed." And so I went to my teacher at school, and I was like, "There was a dude talking. What was he doing?" And then she said, "Oh, he's funny. He's a comedian. He gets paid to tell jokes for a living. He's funny like you are." And then I was like, "You mean I should have been getting paid this whole time? Like that? Is my check in the mail? I've been killing it here, Miss Lady."
Killing it
And
in the
so,
fourth grade, huh?
yeah, just destroying. And I knew I was destroying because I could make her laugh and not get in trouble because I made her laugh. And then fifth grade, we had a talent show. I did 5 minutes in the talent show, and I won the talent show doing stand-up comedy for the first time ever, and just got bit by the bug. In the defense of everybody else on the talent show, I was the only kid that wasn't singing "What a Girl Wants" or "Livin' La Vida Loca." So a break in that mind-numbing repetitive action over and over again for a couple hours, a comedian was very up their alley.
Really stood
So
out.
very much so. Yeah. A mom from the PTA threw her bra at me. It was a wild time. And so, yeah, since then I've been bit by the bug. And then as soon as I got out of high school, I started doing open mics. I went to my local comedy club's open mic, invited 30 of my friends, told them that if I sucked to laugh anyway and tell me afterwards and I would never do it again. And they said, "No, you're really good. You should do this again." And so I went back the next week without any of them and did the same 5 minutes and found myself back to the Stone Age. And I was like, well, this is it. This is it for me for the rest of my life. I will now do this. And now I'm coming up on 18 years having done this, which is long enough to know better. So here we are.
Yeah, it's funny. You just have to, everybody has to find their voice, kind of, right? I mean,
Yeah,
on material and the early days audience, you couldn't turn a bad audience back when you're first starting, right? It's just you just do your
exactly.
stuff, but you get the good headliners get better at that. So,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
what comedian do you love that your audience probably wouldn't expect? Was it Carlin or is there somebody else?
Well, yeah, no, see, I mean, I always have respect for Carlin, so he's definitely in my top four forever. But I would say, and it's always one that people always kind of get taken aback when I say it's my biggest influence and the one I look up to the most, which is Sinbad. Sinbad's my guy. I saw Sinbad live, I want to say 5 or 6 times before I turned 18 because he kept coming back to my local fair. And so I would, ask for anybody older in my family to take me to go see that. And I would go see him live. And he's been a big influence to me my entire comedy career. I had the privilege about 10 years ago of meeting him and getting to hang out with him and see his show. And they say don't meet your heroes unless your hero is Sinbad. He
It
lives
was
up
good.
he lived up to the hype. He was a class act. He was a great dude, a good hang, so funny. Like my buddy had been opening for him for years, and I asked him, I was like, "How do you work out like the stories he tells on stage?" And he's like, "Man, I've been opening for him for years now. I've never heard him say the same thing twice. He just wakes up funny, he goes to sleep funny, and I'm pretty sure when he's asleep, he's still funny."
He's
So
dreaming funny.
dreaming funny, man. So yeah, Sinbad's my guy, ride or die. It's not even close. It's Sinbad by a mile. So
Is he
yeah,
still
everybody
out
go check
there?
out Sinbad. Man, he had a stroke, I think, last year, so
Oh.
he had to stop, unfortunately. Very, very sad. Yeah, now he's got a joke where he's just joking around. He's like, "Man, I joked about having a stroke and then I had one." And here and so yeah, he's taken a step back from it, unfortunately. So hopefully he can get back in some capacity because man, that dude's a legend. So good.
Oh, cool. That's neat. So, what's a joke you worked on forever that never quite worked? Do you have, I mean, now you got to have some.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, the one that comes to mind is a joke very early on that I was doing. It was enough that at an open mic, it struck the ear of another comic in the back, and we started a long friendship. And now, like, he's, real close with my family and I. We've been good friends, gone on the road a lot, and he actually directed and edited my last comedy special that came out on Amazon last year. But the joke was. I was driving by. and the freeway, and I saw a billboard advertisement. The advertisement said, "Learn how to read." And then I kind of tilt my head to the side, and I was just like, "Who is that sign for? This feels like a radio ad more than anything else. Like I don't understand. I don't think they understand their target demographic very well.
Yeah.
Actually, they might want to take a marketing class." And so I had that joke, and it only worked that one time. That's the only time I ever got that joke to work was at that open mic where it made my friends start talking to me, and that's what started our friendship. Every other time I did that joke, it would just eat it. It would just die. Like people are like, I don't know if they just didn't get it, and I had to over explain it, and that made it not funny. But like just that and the head tilt for me was like, this has got to be something, right? There's something here, but it's just one of those things where it's so surface level that it's like, there's not too much to dig underneath here. And so I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll just never get it working. I think it literally just served to get my friend to talk to me one time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just thinking back when I was starting in comedy, I had a bit. It was on the molasses to slave to rum trade, in colonial
Yeah,
America, and I was just cracking myself up, and oh, I'm just gonna go to open mic and just kill with this thing, and it just
yeah,
absolutely nothing.
yeah.
So,
You get those where you're just like, oh yeah, no, I think there's something here. This is gonna be real, real good. And then it just dies terrible. And then
yeah,
you question everything. You're like, oh, okay, all right. I guess I gotta go try and get
yeah.
this stank off me now.
Maybe if I took it to a history class and,
Right?
and
Yeah, that
delivered it
might be
there,
good. Or it might
they'd
go
be
better
dying.
now. Yeah,
I
it might
just
go
picked
better
the
now.
wrong audience.
Exactly.
Finally, is there an example of a bit like something you had from life that then you had to punch it up? So that's probably a lot of
Yes.
material, huh?
Yeah, because I mean, I consider I get to ask the question a lot. People that are like, "How much of what you talk about on stage is true?" And I'm just like, all of it. I mean,
Yeah.
like, yeah, I mean, I do very. I know there's comedians that I work with who have some things that they'll embellish a little bit here and there, or some things they embellish a lot. I 99% of what I say is real, and so the most recent thing is like actually a story that's in my act. And if people come see me this weekend, they could probably hear the rest of it. So I don't want to give too much of it away,
Right.
but it's a situation that happened in which I was trying to get out of working this contract for somebody because I got offered a gig that paid more, but the company that I was working for that I had to cancel on, they were very strict about their cancellation policies, and I didn't want to risk losing more future work. So I told them a lie uh, as to why I couldn't do the contract, and they were like, "Oh no!" I told them my grandma died. They're like, "Deepest condolences. We'll let the people know you can't do the contract." And then eventually they called back and they were like, "We just need proof of the funeral, and you're off scot-free."
Oh shit.
And what ensued was a twisty turny tale of all kinds of insanity.
Yeah.
That it was one of those situations that comedians really thrive in, where we on purpose put ourselves in a situation that we know is going to just be a hurricane of just like a crap storm. Like it's not going to be good. This is going to be a nightmare in the moment. But if I can hang tough and try and find strategic ways to make this worse than it has to be, it will be so bad it has to be funny. And so that's one of those situations where I ended up crashing a funeral with a friend of mine. And I was like, this has to be funny. And I'm just sitting there like just trying to get it
Right.
all branched out. And I finally got it to a place where it's punched up enough and it's in good working order. If you see me this weekend, you can hear the tale
Oh, good.
of probably statistically why I'm going to hell if you believe in such a thing.
I can't wait for that. So, folks,
Oh
if you
yeah.
want to hear the whole story, catch Myles Weber this weekend at Joker's, 7:30 p.m. It's a special event, $17. And remember, at Joker's, we sell fun.